Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. Well, I'm making biscuits for two today, and the neat thing about this is I'm using regular all-purpose flour. In fact, I went and specifically found the least expensive, no-name brand flour to use, and this is the way they turned out. Not bad, huh? Pretty flaky. Well, let me show you how to do it. It's easy. You start with 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You can see the flour I'm using there. It's just a completely no name brand at all. Next, we want to add some baking powder, about 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure you sprinkle it all over the flour. We really need to get it spread out, just like that. After that comes sugar, 1 heaping teaspoon of regular sugar. And then we want 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now we really need to whisk this together. We want to get all of those ingredients incorporated. So take your time and really stir it up. And then after that, it's time for the butter. I'm using 3 tablespoons of regular salted butter. You want to dice it up and throw it in. And then comes the fun part, my favorite part. You go in there with your hands and you just squeeze each of those little pieces and you make slivers. And you just go around and squeeze each one just like this. It's easy, no problem at all. Now I realize there's more than one way to make good biscuits. In fact, there's lots of ways. And I'm not really making this video for anyone who already has biscuits mastered and they make great biscuits, and I know there's different ways to do it. But what I want to do is try and help those that have never really got the hang of it. And so I really want to show you how to do it just step by step, very simple, very easy. I also found out that in other parts of the world they call these scones. So that's pretty interesting. So not only can I make biscuits, but I can make scones. And so can you once you learn how to do this. So you just work it together like this and find each of those little pieces and you squeeze them and make slivers and get them all mixed up. And then you want to make a well in the center to pour your milk into. And of course that's next. I'm using slightly less than 1/2 cup of regular whole milk. Just like that. And now you need something to stir with. And gently bring the ingredients together. It's easy, it really is. Everyone ought to learn how to do this, especially if you like biscuits. I suppose this is the most critical part, learning how to not overwork the dough. That's really the secret to good, fluffy, flaky biscuits. Be very gentle. So I'm just stirring it as little as possible, just trying to get all the moisture to pick up the dry flour. See, I'm not really even stirring it, I'm just kind of moving it around and turning it over. And then once it reaches this stage, it's time to use your hands. Of course, my hands are very clean. And you begin to reach down underneath and try and scoop up the dry flour and lift it to the top. And gently incorporate it all into the dough ball. You can even pick it up and kind of pour it on top like that. But the main thing is not to overwork the dough, just to be very, very careful with it, very gentle with it. I know I'm using that word a lot, but it's because it's so important. That's about right. Next, we're going to go ahead and get a piece of wax paper. You don't have to have wax paper. I just like doing it. Makes it easier to clean up after you're done. It also is a good indicator of how sticky the dough is. If it sticks to the wax paper, it's a little too sticky. So you pour out a little more flour. It's that same all-purpose flour I'm using. Spread it out a little bit. And now you need to really pay attention to this part as well, because this is how you make it nice and flaky. And you don't want to overwork it, but you have to press it out and begin to make folds and to fold it over. And I'm not sure exactly how many times I fold this here, but just several times over and over, folding it in, pressing it down, folding it in, pressing it down, but lightly pressing it down over and over. That's how you get flaky biscuits. That's how you get those layers. If I felt it trying to stick to my hand, I'll put a little flour on it. You want it right at that spot where it's almost sticking. You don't want it too dry. You don't want it too wet. You fold it and you fold it. I think you can see the way it's making layers, and then just press it out. About like that. All right. Now we'll get this cast iron skillet that I have put a little butter in, and you want to press straight down with your biscuit cutter. Oh, and if there's a little extra flour on the bottom, just kind of dust that off. And in the skillet it goes. And refold the dough. I'm going to speed this up because it's pretty straightforward. You can see I'm just folding it over and getting it so I can make another biscuit. So cut that out. Got 3, 4, and then I'll just bring this together and cook this little bit in the middle, irregular. There we have it. 4½ biscuits, and into the oven it goes, 425 degrees. And we'll just watch them rise up. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That ordinary all-purpose flour biscuit. What do you think? Not bad at all. Nice and flaky. They really rose up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. How about the bottoms? Oh yeah, that's fine. Well, what do you think? Just about right, I would say. They pull right apart. Well, you know it's time to put a little butter on those hot biscuits. Just like that. Oh yeah. Anyway, you don't really need, wait, look at this. Oh, you don't really need any special type of flour. You can use self-rising just to make it easier, but you can use regular flour. They turn out great. Now all I need to do is put a little of that good molasses syrup on there, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you give these a try. They're really not hard once you get the hang of it. Anybody can do it. Anyway, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.